Hello, everyone. Welcome. Another episode, BCS Sports Show. CJ Spects Bryce will be on in a few, probably.
Probably.
Because BYU is playing at the moment, so.
With a minute, 90 seconds left, and it's a 6-point game.
Okay. Yeah, BYU got screwed by that flagrant 2.
That was a fascinating flagrant.
That is the worst flagrant 2 call I think I've ever seen. They even got to review it, so that's pretty bad.
That's what I don't mind you for the most part when it comes to flagrants. I kind of don't like them.
I think I
don't like them in the NBA because I think isn't there a very weird like flagrant where it's like the clear ball foul or something?
So they have the clear path foul, which is a different thing, but like flagrants, they for whatever reason they don't bring intent into it, like which is weird because you would think like a flagrant 2 should be something where someone is trying to injure another guy, not like he screwed up and smacked him, like. But they use the flagrant sometimes when a guy will like go for a block and accidentally smack him in the face. Like this shit's gonna happen in sports, and then they're like, "Oh, flagrant." It's like, to me, it's just a common foul. Like, if there's intent, yeah, flagrant. But like, if there's not, what are we doing here? And this is that one's a similar thing. Like, if you want to give him a foul for the nut shot, which I don't think you should. To me, that's a no foul at all. Sure, fine, give him a common foul, but. Flagrant 2 is crazy.
I was going to say, you're trapping the guy in the corner. He's either going to chuck the ball and just try to get it.
Right, and he's trying to split the defender, and the guy is doing a hip thrust into his... And
mind you,
like
I haven't played basketball in a while, but I'm pretty sure you're kind of told like to drop like that.
Yeah, you're told to drop and try to split, and, you know,
they get in the way, because the idea is you try to get blocking or something on them.
Yeah. And back in my day, we were taught to throw our elbows out. So, like...
Now, we played in the era where hand checking, which being checked was still a thing.
You remember your coach, when you say get a rebound, do this. Elbows out.
Yeah.
Rebound, elbows out.
Yep.
Make them not want to get a rebound. Yeah.
When I first started, I was a power forward. I was a 3-4-5 player. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's what they taught you. And now, like, that's straight up just, like, not allowed. It's so weird because it's, like...
You can't clear space out anymore.
You're not allowed to clear space, and if you try, you get called for a flagrant, apparently. So I'm not even a BYU fan, but that's a terrible call.
Yeah, it was just an odd call, because I was like, oh, I expected something. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. We even reviewed it. That's crazy.
That's what I was laughing at. It's like, wait, you reviewed that, and you still... Okay.
Especially because it's like, again, he didn't even extend his elbows. He's going shoulder, and
it was sort of like a running back, just like trying to like clear the way, give himself some room.
100%.
Because you're trapped, like I said, he's trapped in the corner, so it's like, what do you expect?
Yeah. Like
it's 91-86 now.
Okay.
Minute 12. Oh, they effed it up. BYU just effed it up.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. They just botched the inbound pass. Uh-oh.
BYU, come on, man. What are we doing?
The Mormons don't know what they're doing. Bryce is going to be either elated or pissed. They have 11 turnovers. How are they winning this game?
That is a lot of turnovers. Well, I'm looking at it. Yeah, Wisconsin only has 5 turnovers.
How are they winning this?
Oh, they're shooting way better.
Oh, is that what it is? They're just
so
got a higher shooting percentage.
They're shooting 48% from 3 and 50% from the field. Wisconsin is
30.
Wisconsin's 34 and 42.
Oof.
And BYU's only missed 1 free throw. Wisconsin's missed 6. So that's essentially the difference.
Fundamentals.
The fundamentals, man. Hit your free throws. Get good
everything
looks.
your coach at NJP told you.
Exactly. Elbows out on rebounds. The ball moves faster than the man. When I was a kid, my first basketball team, I remember my friend's dad. This is totally random, but it's basketball related. Made me think of it. Well, my friend's dad was the coach, and I remember him making an example of his son because his son like dribbled, like he had a guy open underneath the basket instead of passing to him, he like dribbled for a layup or whatever. And his dad like made him like his dad would pass the ball to someone under the basket and try to make his son like outrun the ball, try to like, hey, ball moves faster than you, ball moves faster than you, make the pass.
Yeah,
I remember that was hilarious. Like my friend,
just make the extra pass.
Yeah, just make the extra pass, and his dad made him the example.
something I laugh at. There's a guy on Instagram and TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
88.91 minute left. But he does like the stereotypical like YMCA basketball coach.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like we don't do the in between the legs. We don't do the hippy dippy thing. We're getting the 3-point stance.
Triple threat.
A triple threat. You throw the like.
Let's see some crisp chest passes and bounce passes, kids.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
None of this one hand, whatever.
And then when I remember having to help coach a team that hilariously with Bryce, that we were playing on.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow or other, I got the younger kids and I made them just do like the old cone drill with chairs.
Nice.
I'm like, and they're like, "Why are we doing this?" And I'm like, "Well, the idea is I want ball. I'm like, ball security's number one."
You know what? It is true. You win a lot of basketball games if you don't turn it over.
And mainly it was just like, because I want to kind of get you used to using your offhand.
Right, yeah.
Where it's like you can kind of like because the idea was like you want to half step the other way and then just come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's better to do that on the offhand.
Man, I miss basketball. That was so fun.
You only have a couple years before you can coach.
That's true. I can coach my son. Actually, I can coach him like now. They have basketball leagues for this young.
I mean, unless you don't want to, I don't know.
I
coached like junior hires once, and it was kind of fun because there were some of them when I was leading when I was still at my old church.
Mm-hmm.
I was leading, so it was always fun because the kids who I knew, because I was the first base coach.
Mm-hmm.
So like the kids who I knew, all they do was talk crap the entire time.
Right. Yeah.
Naturally.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I would consider coaching. If I coached anything, it'd probably be soccer because that's the sport I played the most growing up. So.
It's all fun and games when the kid you know is at first base and he botches a play, and I just laugh at him. Like, idiot.
That's funny.
I was so pissed off an umpire because I knew more than he did, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't say it was that coach, but
that's funny. Like, yeah, I see, and that's the thing is, when I watch
91, 39 and a half to go.
It's close. I would be that one to get kicked out of the game, so I need to just not say anything. Because my dad was the one that would get kicked out of the game for saying shit to the ump, and I know I got those genetics. So
here's what the funny part is. I've learned because when I was in the league, a lot of the other umpire our league would have like one umpire and then like the upper like teenage umpires who would just do our games.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to know them, and a few of us got like a couple of them were cool because they were around a lot. So like they wouldn't necessarily get upset if we were like, wait, what kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to like disagree. And plus, I'm a catcher, so I've learned how to disagree politely.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, little league, like 8th grade or whatever, playing baseball. I played second base, and I had an unassisted double play. But they called the guy second safe, even though and my dad lost his shit. The umpire was like, "If you say one more word, you're getting kicked out." And he's like, "Sorry, sir, I'll shut up now." It's so funny.
I had that happen to me. Once, and it was the only time where I had an umpire like glare at me.
Yeah.
I was playing first, and they said I pulled my foot, and I didn't pull my foot.
Right.
And the home plate umpire overturned the call. And without thinking, I said, "How the hell can you see that from where you are?" And he stopped and just glared at me. And he's like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Huh?"
They're like, "Huh?"
I'm just playing stupid at this point. Got me.
That's
got
hilarious.
Me. And my coach ran out of the dugout so damn fast. He's like, "Shut up."
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't play sports anymore. I was an asshole.
Oh, I wasn't it was just one of those things. Like I said, I knew how to argue correctly.
Yeah. I didn't. I got a couple times I got yellow cards for talking back to the refs in soccer. So
my favorite one when I was coaching is one of the guys. It was a lefty, and like if the lefty's move is good, like they kind of like it's borderline. But I made the comment. It was because I made the comment. I just went I just said 45, and the Blues like both are the way it is in little like they only have two. They have two, so one's usually behind like second base when the guy's on first, and it's the guy behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they just go time, and the umpire goes and talks to the kid, and I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna warn him because I said something. Like,
fantastic.
I'm like, oops. I had a travel ball coach who played in the major leagues who almost got ejected because he knew a rule the umpire forgot and he didn't appreciate getting reminded.
That's hilarious.
Because the guy made a wide turn, so on first base you technically can't. If you make a too wide of a turn, you got like because you go through the base, but some like if you round it, you have to like come back, like they can tag you out.
Right.
So the guy like hesitated, and we were told like, hey, if he hesitates, just tag him, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
He sort of went a little too far, and they tagged him, and he said like, "Safe, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Our coach, like he can like he walks out and tells them." And the did not appreciate that he brought up like that one specific rule. He's like, it's a judgment call, you can't argue it. And he's like,
nice.
Okay. And then as he walked off, he said, leave your rule book at home. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what'd you do to this guy?
That guy's ego got bruised. That's what happened.
That's how it is for a lot of these guys. A lot.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
I don't know what they have them for, but I've seen a lot of like umpire just like they have like the GoPros and crap on for baseball.
Yeah.
And there's some where I'm just like, I get what you're doing, but please stop.
Yeah. Some of them are kind of funny though, because there are ones that are like, I've watched ones where they like call a ball a strike, and then right after they're like, yeah, fuck that one up. Like,
yeah, there's some where it's just like, crap.
Yeah.
My favorite one is like when the coaches argue. And and the umpire knows it was wrong, but he can't change it because it's a judgment call.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you sort of go, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I apologize. That's about it.
Yeah, and you see the same thing in the NBA. Like, some of the refs, sometimes there are cases where, like, a star will argue a call, and then they kind of, like, stop, and you can tell that the ref is like, yeah, I missed that one. I understand.
I can't do anything.
Like, Mobby, dude. Like,
LeBron's back for the Lakers.
I saw that. LeBron is back. Good for you. Jokic is going to be out tomorrow, so I'm in pain and suffering right now.
The Lakers survived, which is all that matters.
You did. Where are you? Where is the stand? I think the Nuggets are 4th right now. Sick. You guys are 3rd. Congrats.
We're 3rd. So the Rockets moved up.
Oh, you're tied with us.
Oh, wow. The Rockets are on a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah,
Jesus
the Rockets
Christ.
Are good. I'm going to be so sad if we end up in the play.
BYU won.
Did they win?
They missed the 3 to tie it. Yeah, they missed the 3 for the win.
Thank God.
And they look dumbfounded. I'm surprised they didn't call a tech on for that dunk at the end there.
Well, that's great for me. Dude, my bracket looks so good right now.
I think mine and ours looks better because I can't. Because you would just say stuff and I'm like, you know what? Let's go with it. But I think
like right now I'm in the 99.2 percentile.
Nice.
Like, I wish this was the bracket I had in my other leagues where I'm playing for money.
Let's see. How am I doing in the one with all my fantasy football? I'm 1st in the fantasy football pool that I'm doing with all the guys in fantasy.
Nice.
I have the most picks, but I don't have the most points. I'm 3rd in total points, like, if it were to keep going.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, because frickin' St. John's lost.
Yeah, the St. John's one screwed up
yeah, I'm kind of surprised that dunk's not going to be a tech.
Well, to be fair, they gave someone a flagrant 2 for trying to not be trapped, so... You know.
No, that's why I'm surprised, but I'm like, that wouldn't really change anything, because even if they did did they put 1.1 on take the free throw and you lose by 1, congratulations.
Right, yeah.
Where am I in my family's one? Because I thought, there's no more perfect brackets, right? Because that 15 one?
I don't think so. Wait, a 15 seed one?
Or I'm 1st in this one, too.
So the upsets we had was McNeese as a 12 seed, Drake as an 11, Arkansas.
Yeah, Drake. Yeah, the Drake one.
Okay. Colorado State as a 12,
So wait, what am I in ours?
In ours, you're second.
Behind you, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, you had St. John's going to the final.
I think John's going pretty far.
So yeah,
I should have. Apparently, Auburn almost lost. That would have been bad.
Yeah,
that would have been bad.
I think Bryce Bryce still has his Final Four still intact.
Yeah.
He just had a rough time with but
the whole thing is that I was talking about this with the guys in my other one.
Mm-hmm.
In my other pool was if you're gonna take risks, take them early on.
Yes, 1000%. We'll see though.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna. I'm projected to be third in total points here.
Oh, with your max remaining? Yeah.
Yeah, 1470.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I mean, all it takes is like 1 or 2 games to go a certain way, and then you're, like
I'm in the 80th percentile.
Yeah, that's good. At one point, my bracket was like top 50,000. I'm like, damn, that's pretty sick.
Nice.
But it's not. It's at 200,000 now.
That's still really good.
Yeah, I'll take it considering they're like, I think Bryce is in the 59.8 percentile and he's 10 millionth. So that means there was like 22, 23 million brackets done on ESPN. Something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Like I said, that's not bad.
Not bad. I'll take it. It'll probably end up not that way, but especially because my Final Four is Maryland, Iowa State, Duke, and Kentucky.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, because that's true. She had Maryland going pretty far.
I did. I let the homerism take over there.
That'll do it.
Yeah, homerism. All right.
Yeah, I guess ultimately at the end of the day, I can't complain being where I'm at in the 80th percentile. It's not too shabby considering what happened.
Yeah, and honestly, it's all a crapshoot anyway. Like, even people who watch college basketball, their brackets still suck. Like, it's all random. No one knows.
Tennessee's winning.
Oh, yeah, what are the current games going on right now?
Tennessee's up 32-25. Arkansas winning was rough.
That is a tough one. Though I guess it's not surprising. I mean, it is Calipari. So, not insane. Gonzaga is going to lose to Houston, maybe? Houston's up by 4 with a minute left.
Oh, maybe.
So, well, that sucks because I think I had Gonzaga going pretty far.
It's going to be great. I mean, hey, BYU's might save me.
I told you, man, the BYU pick. The vibes were not good for VCU, dude. The vibes were not
You're
good.
very right. Very, very right.
Yeah.
But I don't think on this. I never necessarily win, but I usually do pretty well at the gate, and then as it narrows, it just sort of
falls apart. Yeah, that's usually what happens to me too. So I expect that to happen next weekend for sure.
Yep.
I guess
I agree.
Is there any other big like college basketball things that happened? Like obviously St. John's loss is pretty big. But outside of that, it's been.
I mean, Colorado State winning.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess you could put the McNeese Colorado State as pretty big upsets. Though the whole thing it feels like there's always at least one 12-5. So to me, that doesn't feel like a huge upset.
I think too they mentioned it because I don't know if you don't think you were necessarily watching it all day like I was.
I don't think I watched any college basketball the last.
But like they kept making the comment like NIL's very much even this out. So apart from like a handful of games, like they're pretty tight. Like there weren't. I think the biggest blowout was UCLA Utah State because Utah State didn't even hit 50. They scored 47, which I think's the lowest total in the first round.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
The Houston one only scored 40.
Okay, but yeah, like I mean, you're right. Looking at these scores, like, yeah, there's some blowouts here, but there's not a crazy number of blowouts. Like, if you are anywhere from a 4 or 5 seed to like a 12, 13 seed, like the games are relatively close.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like maybe someone like pulls away late, but like there's a lot of games here that are within like 10 or 15 points, which
it's not like
can hardly be considered a blowout.
It's not like the women's game where I think UConn's just been bullying their opponents.
Yeah, UConn always bullies their opponents.
UConn's just disgusting.
Yeah, they always are though. Like, hold on, I was gonna look at this and I forgot to earlier. Women's NCAA. I need to know like how many has UConn won in a row?
They won
or just in general. I know they've won a lot.
Didn't they go undefeated one year?
Multiple years, I think. Yeah, there was a point from 2013 to 2016 they won 4 straight national championships.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy.
That's funny. I keep thinking I should, like, if I do a bracket, just do the women's one for the fun of it.
Yeah, I did the women's one for my work one. And I don't know if it's going, I don't think it's going very well, but
I think that one I feel way more confident picking chalk.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, because, and that was something, they actually had 2 undefeated seasons during that 4-year run. That was one thing that my wife asked. I was like, yeah, my women's bracket is doing okay. And she was surprised there even was one. And I'm like, yeah, people do the women's bracket. It's just there. And that's what I said. I was like, it seems like it's much more chalk and there's not nearly as many like kind of big upsets. And it seems, usually a top 4 team wins. So it just doesn't get nearly as much publicity because it's not quite as random.
Gotcha. But I was just curious because I know, like, my mom did it last year. She's like, "Oh, it was so fun." I'm like, I just feel like it's boring because it just be. I think chalk wins out that more so than the women's and the men.
It sure seems that way, and I could be 100% wrong, but it seems that way just because, like, you look at the winners of the last handful of years: South Carolina, LSU, South Carolina, Stanford. Those are all like in the women's game, like big, like powerhouses. Baylor, Notre Dame, South Carolina, UConn, Baylor, Texas A&M. That's like a weird one, I guess. Like,
yeah. Because I know the only thing I know about this bracket is I want to say USC is number 1 in the bracket opposite of UCLA. So they could meet in like a Final Four matchup, which would be crazy.
So yeah, since tournament began in 1982, 20 teams have entered, ranked number 1 in at least one pool and gone on to win the tournament.
Yeah.
And if you look at that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 10 years. That's been the case.
Oh, mind you, Iowa's had the best female college player like ever.
I'm sorry, you have who?
Iowa.
Caitlin Clark. Yeah,
Caitlin Clark went to Iowa. Yeah. I don't think they actually won anything.
No, they lost in the. Did they lose in the Final Four last year?
I think so. I think they lost to LSU because I remember like that's when like Angel Reese was like the Angel Reese like villain arc started.
That is true. Yeah, there was a villain arc that happened there. It's funny.
It's still going, which is double funny. Because they were. So I know this isn't.
No, Iowa beat LSU last year.
Oh,
in the Elite
Eight.
Won
a title last year.
Iowa lost to South Carolina in the title game.
That's right. South Carolina went on a run.
Yeah, and South Carolina's been good. They've been really good for the last couple of years. They were undefeated last year.
Their center's a tank.
Yo, we're recording. Congrats on BYU winning.
Let's go Cougars.
I don't agree with. We didn't agree with that flagrant 2, but
yeah. Tell us your thoughts on that flagrant 2. It was bad.
Did you say tell you my thoughts?
Yeah, let me hear your thoughts on the flagrant 2.
I mean, I thought the reffing was questionable all game. That's what I'll say about that. Basically, I thought I don't know. I never look. I would not have blamed that game on the refs if BYU had lost that in the end.
Okay.
And honestly, what's funny is I didn't see it till like after it happened.
Okay.
And when my wife first told me about who it was, Baker. I'm forgetting his first name. I think it's not Dallin. I forget his name.
I don't know, I'll look it up.
But he's a super good energy guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not like
guy.
Dawson Baker.
He's not. Yeah, Dawson is his name. But so my wife said that when she said he got ejected, I was like, oh well.
Like I was curious, okay. Because I was like, is this one of the guys or is this just like a bench guy? But it sounds like it's
he occasionally there's been times this season where he gets really hot,
right,
Free in particular, and then you're like, oh, this is a great guy sort of thing. But most of the time you have men to be that high energy guy, and so when he went out, I think they just put back in Trey Stewart, and Trey Stewart's another high energy guy who can bring you a lot of value, just depending on kind of what you're looking for. So,
gotcha.
I mean, okay. Yeah. So I thought it was a bullcrap call, but
yes, it was bad.
It looked weird.
It was so bad.
I honestly, there was multiple times the whole night where Wisconsin was flopping or I don't know. And I try not to get too much into it because I'm a BYU fan, so am I going to be able to say anything
Right, you are definitely biased one way, yeah.
but I don't know. I felt like Wisconsin was getting a lot of the good whistles, and it was funny. I also, it's not always this way, but there's been multiple games this year where it felt like the commentators were kind of rooting for the other team.
Okay,
and maybe it's because the games I've watched. A lot of the games I've watched more closely for BYU are games where they were playing teams that were highly ranked, like Iowa State and Arizona.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Where the commentators maybe are a little bit more biased in favor of said team because they're
a more known product, they're nationally more known, recognized.
They went in studying Iowa State for that game. They went in studying Arizona for that game. They kind of study BYU to know what they're talking about, but not enough to
Yeah.
Anyways, it's. I mean, look, guys,
Sweet
for
16,
BYU, it's been since 2011 since BYU made the Sweet 16. This is our first year winning a round. It was our first year winning a round of 64 game since 2011.
Really? It's been that long.
The last game we won.
Dude.
The last game we won. Last March
Chinese
game
legend.
we won was in 2012, and it was a what do you call those first four?
Oh, the first four in those stupid things.
The two, the 11 versus 11 and 16-16, whatever. It was an 11-11 matchup, and BYU beat Iona in 2012, and then lost in the round of 64. And then there was another year where they had another play-in game.
You lost to Ole Miss.
It was Ole Miss where we were up by 17 at halftime. And what was funny was when BYU gave up, I think it was a 3-point play. It was the and one towards the end there.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife, I was I have so much PTSD from BYU just blowing games in the past.
Right.
That I was that I'm sitting there all right, well, now what's going to happen is we're going to give up the ball on a stupid, because BYU had just given up a stupid turnover, right before then. And then I was they're going to give up another stupid turnover, and Wisconsin's going to come back down, make a 3, and win the game. And that is how much trauma I've experienced with BYU losing some of these games. But this year's team has really been different, but it's tough to put away that trauma.
Yeah, I mean,
the team is different.
You expect the worst to happen when your team hasn't had that sustained success. Because I feel that I've been there.
So I thought
that's why Nug Life exists.
It was a gritty win, and it was great defense. I think there were some Wisconsin fans who were "Oh, that was a foul at the end." I was "Oh, that's just good defense." He shot a fadeaway and landed on his butt, and then BYU just kicked the ball out and wasted the clock. It was great.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, I am super happy now. I was telling my wife because right before then, I was like, either way, once the clock hits 0, my heart and stomach and everything's gonna like loosen.
Right.
I was like, but one is going to be if we win, it's loosened and I'm happy and like flowing with energy. But if we lose, then I was like, that's gonna be replaced with that like pit in your stomach of what could we have done?
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, all sports fans know it well. You know, that final game of the season where you lose just sucks. You know, so.
I was watching Jimmer for Dead highlights during that conversation.
He was a dude for a while.
I mean, the only thing was
so
his game didn't translate to the NBA. I mean, not unless he could convince a coach to just let.
In his defense, if he came out, he came out
6 years later.
Was he drafted the same? He was in the same draft as Curry, right?
No, he was after. Curry was like 2000. Was Curry
2009?
2011? Hold on, now I gotta look.
No, Curry. Jimmer was 2011.
Yeah,
Jimmer. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
I think Curry was 2009, if I'm not mistaken.
But like, if he had
2009,
yeah.
And Jimmer was 13th
2011.
in 2011.
If Jimmer was younger and probably came out in like 2015,
he would have been given 2016, 2017. That like
he just missed
prime Warriors are like the best.
Yeah, he would have been fine.
He probably would have been like you would have had a coach who would have said, "We're going to make you our Steph Curry." Because back then it was like, we're not going to give you just free range to shoot everything. Plus, he was drafted by a crap organization.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Kings.
The Kings don't help.
Whose head coach was somebody by the name of Paul Westphal, and they went 22-44.
And then it was like right after
they
the
had
NBA
two coaches
lockout too. It
was Keith Smart, who was 20-39. They fired him. Phil Westphal went 2-5 to end the year.
Yeah, I think Jimmer just kind of like was a victim of circumstance because like bad organization to be drafted by. If you'd had a few more years back, like when the NBA basically moved out beyond the 3-point line, he probably would have had a spot somewhere. And then the NBA lockout was like right after he got drafted. It was like the next couple months.
Yeah, that doesn't help. No,
And so when he came back, I think they even like had changed some stuff in Sacramento, and so it was just like there was absolutely no reason for them to like give him the ball the way he needed to.
Wow, he was undersized too.
Yeah, and that was going to be part of his issue. Is he was undersized, and so defense was always going to be an issue.
I was gonna say BYU's guy this year that's gonna probably get drafted this year. Jaeger Demon is 6'9" and like pretty weighty. He's the guy that I told you guys earlier this year. And I will say he has a long way to go, but if he does make it in, like if he does get in lottery grade and goes into the NBA draft and gets a lottery pick, like a 13 or 14 or something.
Here's a bit of trivia. Maybe CJ will get. I don't think Bryce will get it. Okay. You know who the other point guard on this Kings team was? Their other point guard.
Kevin. Was it Kevin?
Was it Kevin?
Oh my gosh.
Kevin Martin?
Was
Kevin
not.
Martin?
Nope.
Kenny Martin? No.
Nope.
Ty Lawson.
Ty Lawson. No, Ty Lawson.
No Ty Lawson.
No Ty Lawson.
Who would that have been? So 2011.
Google this now.
And the best part, no, you gave up. I'll give you a hint. He's shorter than Jimmer Fredette, who's 6'2".
Isaiah Thomas?
Isaiah Thomas.
That was Isaiah Thomas. It's right. I forgot he started in Sacramento.
He was Sacramento.
Because he was a second round pick.
I'll be completely transparent here. I did almost have the roster open on my other monitor, but I didn't quite scroll down. And when you said shorter than 6'2", the only name came to mind is Isaiah Thomas, who, by the way, is absolutely crushing it for Utah's G League team.
He's always had talent. He's just small.
He's averaging. They said he's averaging on the radio. They said he's averaging like 38 points a game in the G League.
It's stupid. Yeah, the thing is, like, Isaiah Thomas nowadays, he can score. It's just his injuries destroyed him. Where like at the NBA level, he gets like absolutely destroyed from like an athletic standpoint.
This is a totally random thing, but my buddy literally sent a text in our basketball chat saying, "Kobe White can ball, man."
Kobe White can ball for Chicago. Yeah. That dude's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
I just love the fact that this Kings team had DeMarcus Cousins, and I'm just like, all right, this is when I started feeling bad for Cousins, for Boogie.
And not only that, so do you want to know who the one coach is that got to DeMarcus Cousins?
Wasn't it Carl?
No, not George Karl.
That was George Karl.
No, it was Mike Malone. Mike Malone was the only coach that Boogie actually liked, and they fired Mike Malone a year and a half in. Yeah.
That's right. Then he got Carl, and he was just like, I hate you.
Yeah, and I don't blame him because a lot of guys hate George Karl. Like, a lot of the former Nuggets hate George Karl. It's like a whole thing. The beef between him and Carmelo Anthony is actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I feel so bad for him because he was like every year, like, God, the Kings just suck. And they couldn't do dick to get better.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because like that team had some talent. Like, Tyreek Evans, his first couple of years was crazy.
They had Ty Lawson at some point.
I think they did. Yeah,
they had Buddy Hield, Aaron Aflalo, Rudy Gay. So it's like they had guys that could do stuff.
Oh man, I miss Aaron Aflalo. What I wouldn't give to have Aaron Aflalo on the Nuggets right now. Oh my God, a perimeter defender, that would be incredible.
And that's right. And then the Kings hired Luke Walton. That'll solve the problems.
Oh yeah, I forgot they had Luke Walton.
To be fair, I forgot the Lakers have Luke Walton too.
You forgot the Lakers had Luke Walton
as a coach.
Oh right. I remember how excited I was when we had Luke Walton as a coach.
See, you want to know what's fun? See, here's the this was the thing, and I talked about it's almost, dare I say, coaching tree fatigue, where you just get coaches that were like in the realm of like coaches that we've had before, and for a while the Lakers were trying to get like the people that trained under Phil, yeah, and it was like. They kept saying like, "Oh, this would be great for." Oh God, what's his name? Talking about elbows. He was the Timberwolves head coach.
Saunders?
Wasn't Saunders. White guy.
McHale?
Wasn't McHale.
No.
Who was the Lakers set? Oh God, what's his name? He was like a power forward for the Lakers back in the 80s.
Rambis?
Kurt Rambis.
Kurt Rambis.
Like, oh, it's Kurt Rambis. Now he's an executive with the Lakers, but I remember them like, "Oh, it'd be Kurt Rambis," and they go with Luke, and it was just like, ugh.
There's been multiple times, even with Genie, that I've been like, but especially when Jim Buss was in charge, I was like,
I felt bad for Genie when Jim was in charge.
There was too much pride from Jim Buss to make the right decision because, like. They had the opportunity at one point to hire Phil Jackson.
Yeah, I remember that, and they hired,
and instead they hired
D'Antoni. And I remember
it was literally. Well, actually, sorry, that was still Jerry Buss. He was still alive, but I think he was letting Jim make a lot of the decisions.
Jim was basically in charge.
And it was honestly just a matter of like they were like
it was spite. It was legitimately spite.
It was literally. I'm in charge now. I'm going to do what I think is best. Here's a guy who had success, and that's all he cared about was just looking like, he goes on and he pays Luol Deng because Luol Deng looked good with the Bulls for a little bit, but it's like, he just, I don't know, he was full of bad decisions. Like, that era of being a Lakers fan was tough.
I was going to say, I'm looking at your coaches right now since Phil Jackson. It's not good. It's not good.
We've only recently got success.
Yeah. Well, and Darvin Ham was your most
look,
I hate that man. I hate that man. I hate him.
One of the reasons I still kind of resent LeBron a little bit is because he basically lobbied to get rid of Vogel.
Mr. Vogel.
Yeah, that was a weird let go.
And I thought Vogel was an incredible coach. And he's shown to continue to be a good coach. Where he's Atlanta, right? No.
Phoenix.
He's
in Phoenix.
That's a rough one, but But
yeah, I don't know about that.
Is that his fault?
Probably not. Honestly, no. That's probably Kevin Durant's fault, if we're being honest.
He's been good.
Or new owner fault. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, he did win almost 60% of his games in Phoenix, but I don't know. Vogel he's an okay coach.
Look, I'm not saying Vogel's. Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying he's the top of but in terms of what the Lakers have been able to get, I mean, the Lakers couldn't get Dan Hurley to come here last year.
That's true. You had to get a podcast host. How embarrassing!
But hold on, wait. But the whole thing with that one is, I really don't think. I know they'll never admit it. I think it was a ploy from both sides, because it put pressure on JJ to take whatever they wanted, and it put pressure on UConn to give him a better deal. I think it was a mutual sort of hey, we know you're not going to take this job, but we need pressure on both ends.
Yeah. It also, I think, benefited Hurley in the sense of, I think Hurley is very self-aware in the sense that he's not going to be an NBA guy. He's kind of I think he's like a Patino or a Calipari, where it's he belongs in college.
I don't think his style would work in the NBA at all.
Yeah. And so I think, yeah, no, I agree. And so I think part of it is being oh yeah, but your offer just wasn't quite what I was looking for. That kind of gives him the option to be look, I thought about it, but
I hate this take coming out of my mouth. I think Hurley would work for one team and one team only.
Miami.
It'd be Miami.
Miami. Yeah, 100%. I knew it was coming.
It's the only team I could see that strategy working for, because of how Miami Miami operates, and how they love these low end college guys who someone like Dan Hurley would probably know.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
But the only way that would happen is Spo would.
I was after this year, Miami
after this year, Spo might want to go upstairs.
I was Miami does already have probably a top 5 coach in the NBA, so
But it's one of those things where I wonder how long he's going to want to do it, because after this year, do you really want to continue this? Because no offense, they're not going to be good next year either, more than likely.
Probably not. But I mean, the Heat have had down years.
I mean, is this the year? But is this the year they get Kevin Durant?
Could be. Honestly, the thing is, they already have 2 really solid all-star level players in Adebayo and Hero. You grab one superstar, that team's good again.
But the whole thing is, it comes back to the question we keep saying: are they willing to trade one of them to get that person to push them over? Because that's what's going to take.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is,
I don't think Durant can opt out, can he?
He can't, but he's also 37 years old, or 36, whatever it is.
36.
So, you're telling me if Phoenix wants to reset, I don't see why they don't take a slightly lower package, because who really, who wants a 36-year-old Kevin Durant who has had problems basically in every place he's been?
So next year his salary goes up to $54 million.
Right. Let's I gotta see the Miami Heat roster right now.
It's not great.
No, it's not good. But I don't know. If you're the Suns, though, would you take? And I don't know the money works, but would you take Andrew Wiggins, whatever first Miami can offer, plus one other younger-ish player Jovic or Khalil Ware or something like that? Where Phoenix is, it might make sense to do something like that, especially because
I think they'd have to I think any deal they would be throwing in Terry Rozier,
right, and the thing is, honestly, I don't know if a team would even want Terry Rozier to be keep your trash at home,
yeah. So that's the thing is I don't necessarily know, because you said okay, Bam and Tyler Hero. Realistically, I guess if you're okay, untradables are just those two. Everyone else pick one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I don't necessarily know who that would be. I guess you said. I guess argumentatively, Andrew Wiggins is your best asset to flip.
1,000%. Yeah, it's Andrew Wiggins and then probably Khalil Ware at that point.
Hold on. So I'm looking at their whatever this is, spot
track, the salaries and stuff. Yeah.
Bam and Adebayo is gonna make a fuck ton of money here soon.
Yeah, he should. Though.
His salary
awesome.
His salary jumps from 37 next year to 51 and 55 and $59 million a year.
Yeah.
And mind you, they still haven't paid Tyler Hero yet.
They have not, but they have an extra year. They have another year before they have to start doing that. Because Hero is making 33.
So maybe they would flip Tyler Hero.
Maybe, but like money. Like looking at money though, like you could do Wiggins and Rozier. That's like 54 million. Like,
true.
Then the salary probably is pretty close to working out, and then you figure out the draft picks and all the stuff around it. But like honestly, Miami seems like right? Miami seems like the most logical place for Kevin Durant. Because again, how many teams really want Kevin Durant with his history just in general with teams? It always ends badly.
Or they do the Bradley Beal thing and they trade they try to get Bradley Beal. That's another name they've been linked to forever.
Could be. The thing is though, like the Bradley Beal one's like impossible to me because any team that takes on Bradley Beal, like you're stuck with them. You cannot trade that salary unless you
I think the
to.
whole thing is I think they'd be fine with that because they've wanted him for a good minute.
Right. And I think Miami would be fine with it, but the thing is Bradley Beal cool with it? He is the one person besides LeBron in the NBA that can just say no. Like,
true. I don't know. Maybe.
And he's talked this year about just being like, I'm just gonna ball here and make money. Like he doesn't give a shit. I actually commend him for it. Like,
yeah, hey. Or they go. Or you know, it'd be even wilder. What if they somehow get Devin Booker?
You said it. Yeah, I know. Honestly, like, if we're really talking Phoenix rebuild, that's who you trade. Because that's going to get you the biggest price. They're not going to because their owner got new owner syndrome.
A psychopath.
Yeah, he's got that new owner thing where you're like he can't just like let the thing roll. He has to like, I don't know, do the big business CEO thing, you know. So.
Mm-hmm. Not everyone can have Luka.
Just trade for your own Luka.
Yeah, that's true. It's easy, right? Like, yeah, we'll just.
Not everyone can have Luka and LeBron. You know,
you just trade your top player for their top player. It doesn't matter what the actual matchup of abilities is.
But see, that's the funny thing. If they did that, and let's say they did do their own Luka trade, which would be. There's
no way. I mean, nobody's gonna do what Dallas didn't. Especially now that Dallas has done it.
Giannis.
But I mean, like that trade would be straight up Devin Booker for him and like picks, which I would try because I think that'd be a baller move.
Well, yeah, Devin Booker is awesome. Yeah,
straight up Bam for him.
Oh yeah, if that's. Yeah, I mean, every team in the league should want Devin Booker. He's amazing. Thing is, like, if you're Phoenix, they don't seem like they're too interested in trading Devin Booker.
Oh, apparently that probably trade can't happen because of the salary. Really?
Interesting.
So yeah, in terms of salary, the Heat take on 14 extra million, and the Suns don't. It says a second. Wait.
But that's when you like throw in Duncan Robinson for 19, and then
cannot take more money in than it's sending out.
Right. Honestly, you know who my dream would be to get Devin Booker. Like, if I was to say, like, I want to see this pairing, is I'd love to see Minnesota end up with Devin Booker.
God, dude,
Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker. If you had the right coach to manage that, like what's the word I'm looking for? The personalities that would be in that locker room. You I'm talking like a Phil Jackson. Like, I'm not saying get Phil Jackson. I'm saying like the modern version. I don't know if there is a modern version of Phil Jackson, but somebody who can manage that. Because look, there are so many people. It's always funny to me with Phil Jackson. There are so many people that go back and go, well, yeah, he won the most championships in NBA history. It's because he always had star players. And I'm like, yeah, but he managed some crappy locker rooms.
Oh yeah,
championships. Like
you're like, you had a locker room with Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman, and he made it work. Like, that's incredible.
And Scottie Pippen didn't really like Michael.
That's true.
Jordan.
That one too. Yeah.
I'm not saying they hated. Like, I think for the first three Scotty liked Michael Jordan, but I think the last 3 he was kind of like, dude, you came in and took my chance to be the number 1 player in the NBA. I resent you.
Yeah. No, I mean,
at the end of all of that, he was desperate to get out.
This trade can't happen. They can't trade because they can't take more money in than they're sending out.
Well, yeah, but are there not players to even it out? Like, Duncan Robinson makes 19. If you can find someone for 5 on the Phoenix side, you probably can get it to work out.
I can get it on one side.
Okay.
So, like, Devin Booker and, like, Royce O'Neal.
Yeah, like, there you go. Like, there will be some just, like...
It doesn't work.
Bullshit here.
Let me see if I can, like, I'm just going to throw in, like, players that are less...
Yeah, like... Bam.
It's like, hypothetically, it should just work.
What are we trying to make the trade for? Booker and who?
Booker
to Miami for Bam.
Wait, what if I take off Duncan Robinson because he's making 19?
He is making 19. Who on Phoenix makes 6?
All right, let's go to Hayward. Let's see how that works.
Durant, you're talking Durant to Miami and Phoenix. Bam to Phoenix.
Yeah, hold on. Can't get this thing to work. Why doesn't this work? I really hate the NBA in terms of trades. Like, this is so dumb.
It is not the easiest. Da, 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 da.
I mean, maybe...
Oh, the Duncan Robinson... the numbers are weird on ESPN, but yeah, it's close between the Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson for Booker. They're off by 127,000.
Which I think they can just throw in cash, right?
No, not for a salary trade like that. But you probably do.
The second apron team can take more money in than it's sending out,
right?
So it's just like,
so it has to be within like that 100,000 or whatever it is. Like, it has to be like almost spot on.
If we do that, what's that do? Ah, Christ, this is obnoxious. I don't know how do they.
There we go. Here's one that works. Devin Booker for Bam Adebayo, Kyle Anderson, and Davion Mitchell. That one works.
Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell.
Oh, Devin Booker's who we're going for. That's
yeah.
Who'd you say?
Bam, Kyle Anderson, and then D Mitchell. I don't know if that's Davion Mitchell or Davion Mitchell.
Well, I can't trade him on sporadic.
Oh, maybe it's because the ESPN.
He has a trade restriction until 4/6.
Oh, okay. Well, then that you can do that next month then. But
yeah, plus what happened during the summer, so hypothetically.
Yeah, like it would end up working there. And the thing is, though, I think Davion Mitchell's on a 1-year deal, so it probably expires anyway after this season. So, but like, Miami can make that happen if they wanted to for Devin Booker. Thing is, though, if you're Phoenix, if you're trading Devin Booker, you're probably looking to get more than that. And one name I heard floated was Oklahoma City, which is kind of gross when you think about it. But
here, I got it to work.
Okay.
Adebayo, Anderson, and Mitchell for Booker.
Yeah,
that's what he just said.
Yeah, that's the one I did.
Yeah. My ESPN said it's fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't using ESPN.
I think ESPN doesn't take in all the trade restrictions. It mostly just looks at the salary stuff. So,
which matters most of the time.
Yeah, which is what really matters. Like, the timing of things can happen kind of whenever, but
you can even like announce a trade and be like, but it's happening a month from now.
That's true. Yeah, you can't.
I feel like it's happened like once before. It's like, we've signed a date for this to happen. It's
right.
We're telling you now.
We're telling you now so no one can back out. Like, then you look like, the Charlotte Hornets or the Lakers with what's his face?
Honestly, I honestly think it'll come out that the Lakers avoided a bullet on that one.
Oh, 1,000%. No, you don't. No,
as time goes on, in particular,
I promise you, what happened was the Lakers a couple days later were like, that was a mistake, and they just failed him on the physical. I bet they didn't even find anything all that crazy, but he has such a bad injury history that it totally is passable and fine.
Well, I kind of have to laugh because it's almost like you traded one Anthony Davis and acquired another one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you might as well take Dalton Connect, who scored 30 against the Nuggets and who's very good. So.
And then you got what's his name? Hayes. Chris Hayes is your center who's doing the job
Jackson
fine.
Hayes. Yeah.
Jackson Hayes who's doing it just fine.
He's doing it good enough.
Balling on a budget.
Yeah, I mean that's what the Lakers are right now with their center. But the thing is, like, they already won this season. They're a future set for the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, you guys could be bouncing the first round, and I don't think a whole lot of Lakers fans would be like, "Yeah, it's fine. We have Luka now. Like, who gives a shit?"
This year doesn't.
We have Luka next 10 to 15 years. We got LeBron play for the next 6.
Yeah,
it's the whole thing of like this year
I think
doesn't matter.
LeBron's playing until he's 50 just to like spite everybody.
That'd be great.
Just to be like, look, I'm still productive and I'm 48.
I think the whole thing is I think they do make a deep run in the playoffs.
I think they do too. And I hate saying
and
that.
And I think if they don't do well this year, next year, they're just gonna
Well, that's the thing is, like,
they'll dominate.
In the offseason, they're going to fix their center position. They're going to get someone solid.
They're going to be able to go into free agency and say, look, we got Luka. Look, if you didn't want to work with LeBron, you definitely want to work with Luka.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be like
every big man in the NBA is like, hell yeah.
There's going to be some really nice big man that comes over, takes a slight pay cut to make everything work, and then...
Yeah.
We're in a better position than the Nuggets are.
I hate you guys. No, we're just not in a free fall. It's fine. It's fine. The Nuggets aren't bad. We got Russell Westbrook, guys. It's good.
All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't think so.
33 divisions in New York, baby.
I felt like I had one thing. I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, Jameis Winston in New York. Good for them.
They're either going to be a playoff, there'll only be a fringe playoff team or a 3-win team, and they get Manny next year. So either way, I think they win.
Hell yeah.
New York just has to wait for Jameis to throw like 10 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in the same game.
The whole thing is, and I stand by this, is if Cleveland started Jameis Winston, they probably would have been fighting for a playoff.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, their roster's not bad. It's just Deshaun Watson.
I think,
his play matches his character. I
think New York will be in a similar position. I think if he actually starts and they don't draft another quarterback, I think they'll win. They'll win 8 games.
They'll win enough. They'll be in the hunt for sure. And they have Malik Neighbors. They have a good
I don't know
defense.
if they would necessarily want to be though. Necessarily, because it's like, would you rather do you want to tank for Manning?
Thing is
probably the number 1 pick.
The NFL doesn't really have the tanking thing. Like teams do tank a little bit, but like in general, like teams are usually playing their ass off until at least like week 12. It's not like the NBA where at the start of the season teams are already tanking because they know they're not going to be any good. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we'll see. It's sort of far out to make that claim because what could happen is someone just gets hurt and they have to get all of a sudden draft a new quarterback.
It's true.
I feel bad for the Jazz, by the way, in the NBA this year. Winning against the Wizards.
Hey,
when you're playing for the worst record in the NBA.
Hey, the Nuggets lost to them.
We lost to the Wizards, so you're welcome.
The Nuggets lost to the Wizards.
Yeah, no, the week has been pain.
Now you're 4th place. You might not even have home field anymore.
Hey, Memphis is also in a free fall, so. Hey,
that's true. Memphis is showing their
and Curry just got hurt, and he's going to be out for a little while. So honestly, like as long as we hold off the Clippers and the Timberwolves, I think we're okay.
I think you'll hold off at least the Clippers. I
think so.
Are gonna do much.
The Timberwolves scare the shit out of me though. So
because of Ant.
Speaking of Timberwolves, I don't know if this is more of a heartwarming story, but Chris Finch started Joe Ingles yesterday. Because Joe Ingles' son is autistic and was finally able to sit through an NBA game the other day, for the first time. So he started Joe Ingles so his son could watch Joe play. I was like, that's awesome. Adorable. Yeah, it was the best. So
wholesome.
Little wholesome NBA note. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday.
Who's ready for a baseball preview?
And we'll probably do that Saturday too because I think Bryce knows more about baseball than I do. So.
No, I'll just
definitely does
talking.
Yeah, probably.
It'll just be Spects talking to everybody.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be like those Rockies, right?
Rockies suck.
Yeah, we hate.
Have guys I like though.
We hate players named Nolan. Apparently.
Yeah, you don't like Nolan, Jones, and Arenado.
All right.